Welcome everybody to the last race of the season here in Yas Marina. It is the end of the season and we are guaranteed third position in the Constructors' Championship, which is always nice, I suppose. You know, we had a top three goal. We knew we weren't going to be able to beat Mercedes. We certainly knew we weren't going to be able to beat the Red Bulls. Max Verstappen, just such a strong driver in this game. And Carlos Sainz not doing exactly that great in qualifying. Remember that we are no longer the fastest or the third fastest car, and it's raining. It rained in Jeddah, and it also rained in. It's raining now in the Yas Marina. I've never known it to rain so much in the Middle East. But there we go. I'm hoping that Sainz can actually get his finger out here and try to get into the top 10. He's got 11th last time. Oh, and he's just got into the top 10, which is absolutely fantastic there. You can see where the the McLarens are just so quick in Danny Ricciardo. He's one person I was looking to sign for next season, but I think I'm going to stick with Sainz. I'm going to stick with Leclerc. They're not bad drivers. I think they just need a better car, and we'll work on it. Sainz just nowhere near as quick though as Charles Leclerc, but he's got the star potential. I think we just got to get in the car just to get up there. He's obviously very quick, and he's been doing okay in the races. But you can see there, 10th, and he's behind people like Ocon and Alonso. And you just think, why? Why are you that low? But Charles is getting 4th, and you're nearly 6/10 down. I just don't understand. But never mind. It's the last Grand Prix of the racing calendar. I am ready. There's absolutely no rain. We're 22 laps away from the end of a very long season. It has been quite the long season actually, and I will change that to the super softs to give us a bit of a boost. Why with a medium tyre? They've not done any race tyres. You're joking. They've not done any race practice. Oh, bloody AI. So car setup, we're going to leave it as it is. It'll do. Really? Okay, well, 91. Yep, it'll do. Driver strategy, well, we're going to go for push and overtake at the start. And here we go for the final Grand Prix of the season. In the front row, we have Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. On the second row of the grid, featuring mostly all the time, is Valtteri Bottas and Charles Leclerc, always seems to be on the second part. Sergio Perez and Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo out qualifying his teammate Lando Norris, who's in 8th, with Fernando Alonso in 7th for Alpine Racing. Esteban Ocon and Carlos Sainz round up the top 10. We move here on to Sebastian Vettel and Pierre Gasly in 11th and 12th, followed by Lance Stroll and George Russell in the medium. George Russell and the Williams, which are both going mediums. Mick Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda also going medium tyres now. Nikita Mazepin and both Nicholas Latifi are going to go soft tyres. Kimi Raikkonen is 19th, followed by Antonio Giovinazzi in 20th. We think this might be Kimi Raikkonen's last season in the game. His stats aren't fantastic, and there was a new story that said that he was going to sign for us. After looking at his stats, was not going to happen. So here we go. So first, second, third all get off. Bottas makes a lightning start and gets ahead of Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc also in third gets ahead of Max Verstappen. So Max has had an absolutely awful start. Carlos Sainz has dropped down the grid 2 places into 12th. However, our focus here is on Charles Leclerc for this Grand Prix. He is in third position. And now this track suits 2 of our parts, so we've got some pretty good deceleration parts and acceleration. We've got some pretty good low speed cornering as well. So this track really should help us there. Carlos Sainz isn't going to get anywhere in overtake mode. Neither is Carlos Sainz. We're going to drop them down. We've got a 22 lap race, so we think these tyres can get us to approximately halfway. Sainz dropping again to 13th, so I know he's pulled it back into 12th, so he's having a bit of a dismal start behind the 2 Alpha Tauris there. So you've got Tsunoda and Gasly who are fighting, and Paul Sainz is just stuck between all of them, especially in this little twisted part of the circuit, and he's going to be overtaken here by Mick Schumacher, who's having a pretty decent race. He's overtaken Lando Norris as well, so decent stuff. Verstappen is in 10th. He's had an awful start. So no idea what's happened to him. They're both the Alpines doing a fantastic job. Look at that, 4th and 5th, Alonso and Ocon. So we know Alonso's an absolutely fantastic driver, but we are right up Bottas's gearbox here, and I think we can take him. I definitely think we can take him. So let's speed things up just a tad. Carlos Sainz, not going anywhere with you. Absolutely nowhere. You can just hang back. I don't know if it's worthwhile him just giving up now. Really, we can get on the softs. He's got 23 laps of the medium tyre. I think we shouldn't wait for very long. Bring him in early and just stick him on the softs, I think, and just let him go right to the end of the race. Made himself into 11th, so that's 2 places up. Lost it to 12th though. So he's currently battling with Pierre Gasly, and Charles Leclerc is under attack from Fernando Alonso. So the Alpines are doing a little bit of development to their car, and they're doing pretty good. However, our tyres now are going to start to take a battering, so let's go back into neutral. Carlos Sainz is just squabbling in the midfield. This is just not going to work out for us here. 14th place, that is ridiculous. So the soft tyres can last for about 21 laps. Mediums go up to 25, so I'm going to speed things up just a touch. Alonso is a little bit behind Leclerc now, so you can just see. Yeah, building a tiny bit of a gap, Leclerc. Still something to worry about. Still don't want to take him off. Yeah, so Verstappen's in 13th and Ricciardo's in 14th. So he's got 2 fast cars that are just having really rubbish races. And that's why he's stuck in those positions. I don't know what's happened to these 2 vehicles and the drivers. I just don't understand. But I'm tempted just to stick him off and stick him on softs and just let him have some free air. We have definitely no rain coming. Do we just do it? Is it inspired or is it not inspired? I'll let him go for a couple of laps. Let's let him go. Let's push things up just a little bit. I've had to back Sainz up. These guys are just squabbling. Oh, and Ricciardo's made 2 places up. Fantastic. But still, it's just not good enough. Thing is, the time to make any decision is going to be now. Charles Leclerc is absolutely fine in 3rd position. 16 laps left on soft tyres. He can do it. Where would he come out? Nicholas Latifi. Can we do it safe? Behind Lance Stroll. Or do we just keep him going right to the end? I don't know. I was of the opinion that maybe we should have pitted him. Right, you know what? I'm going to pit it. Let's just do it. Soft tyres. No. Oh, God. Balanced. Okay. Now let's stick to Mr. Leclerc. So his tyres are at an okay temperature now. Let's go aggressive with Carlos Sainz. Just see him through, see if he can make up any track position being aggressive. He has got himself up to 11th position, so that's pretty good. He's in 20th place now, or he's in 18th now that he's come out of the pits. So that's not bad. Although he's run into a bit of traffic. If I would have pitted him nice and early, I reckon I would have got him out in some clean air, which isn't great, but there you go. He's got some work to do. At least gets his pit stop out of the way. We have Charles Leclerc now in 3rd position with 13 laps to go. I think we would just go back onto the super softs again. Let's just speed things up here. We want to aim to around about 30% tyre wear, and then we can bring him in. It'll be interesting to see what the leaders do in terms of their tyre strategy. So we're on 40% at the moment, so I reckon we can eke another 2 laps out there before we can absolutely smash these super soft tyres. Still no pit stop from Lewis Hamilton or Valtteri Bottas, and Carlos Sainz is just stuck. There's no way he's making a move at all. We're going to back off now with Charles Leclerc because he's on quite a negative delta. So Hamilton is going to pit. We got another 14 laps left. We got 12 laps left of the race. So Lewis Hamilton is going on soft tyres. that might just be safer. And I only say safer because we can really push with these tyres now. Whereas before we wouldn't. But Charles has come out fourth, so that's pretty good. Alonso still needs to pit, and so does Bottas. So I tell you what, let's absolutely ramp these tyres up. Let's get some temperature into them. Carlos Sainz is stuck in 18th. He's not going anywhere. Just simply because he's got Stroll. Ricardo's still out. Verstappen's in 12th. Sainz is having an absolute miserable race, and it's due to what happened at the start. There's nothing we can do with that. But here we are. We're pushing. Bottas still hasn't pitted. So he should be coming in pretty soon. Sainz has gained a couple of places, which is good. Ricardo's decided to pit there for some super soft tyres. Gonna stick Sainz into overtake mode. Now, Charles needs to absolutely push these tyres. I don't think he can make it out in front of Bottas. We've tried to go for the undercut, and here we go. No, Bottas is already. No, he's already past him. No, he's not. No, he's not, because the pit lane goes out there. Well, that's not great. So let's back these tyres right up. Fernando Alonso has pitted. He's on a new set of soft tyres. Our temperature is quite high on them. We've got 7 laps left to go with this Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz is right in the thick of it. He's got Max Verstappen behind him in 15th position on a new set of soft tyres. So he's keeping him at bay. Yes, he is. Just about. Ricardo is dead last, and nope, he has lost position to Max Verstappen, even while on overtake mode. So let's not worry about that. Let's instead worry about our podium man, Charles Leclerc. Fernando Alonso is also backing his tyres up a little bit. They tend to get quite hot quite quickly, so we just need to be very careful about how we do things around here. I don't sense any points for Carlos Sainz today. I think he's having a pretty poor Grand Prix. The start didn't help, qualifying so low down in 10th. You're going to get caught up in that midfield battle, and if you don't make it well into the first corner, your whole race is just destroyed. So yeah, not good race. So let's see what our man here, Charles Leclerc, can do. So we're sticking back in neutral. We've got a little bit of fuel to burn. Carlos Sainz has got a lot of fuel to burn. Let's just stick him on high and just see what he can do. I think this will be the race. As it stands, I don't think anything will change unless there's a safety car and we can just absolutely blitz it at the end. But I honestly highly doubt that anything will change here, which is actually pretty anti-climatic for the last Grand Prix of the season for a 1-2 for Mercedes. But there you go. That has been the story to tell. Max Verstappen has had an awful Grand Prix. So has Sergio Perez. He's in 6th. I mean, we've sort of kept up with Bottas, so to speak. What are we now? No, we haven't really. Just trying to sort of put a positive spin on it, but nope. We're on the final lap of this season, and there is absolutely nothing that we can do. Carlos Sainz is 14th. Ahead of him is Nicholas Latifi. Charles Leclerc is in 3rd position, so that's a podium. Charles has got a lot of podiums this season with a car that is technically been 4th fastest. For most of the season, we started off 3rd fastest. McLaren's jumped us in the engine and certain other departments. Our engine development was pretty poor this season. We didn't really have decent engine upgrades that we could use. So Charles Leclerc there with a brilliant 3rd position. He always pulls things out of the bag, which is what we need in a driver. No matter what it is, he will get close to that podium. Carlos Sainz, however, just not making the cut for us. But again, Lewis Hamilton is victorious. But yeah, going back to the engine, we just don't have very good engine options apart from getting risk with them. And I don't want to get risk because once the FIA does this scrutineering check, you'll break the rules and you'll lose your points. So there's no point in doing that. But there we go. We've got 3rd, so that's an excellent position to the end of the season. This is the Drivers' Championship as it stands after all rounds. Lewis Hamilton with a whopping 513 points. Max Verstappen there with 332, so miles behind. Charles Leclerc, respectable for considering that, you know, on occasions in some parts we're the 5th fastest car in the grid when you look at things like, you know, low speed corners. But yeah, brilliant. The absolutely fantastic season for Charles Leclerc with the car that we had. Valtteri Bottas, disappointing 4th. He made a lot of mistakes this season. Sergio Perez, not as good as Max Verstappen. He really needs to up his game. But when he's driving, when he's in form, Sergio Perez is fantastic on this game and he can really push. So it'll be interesting to see what Red Bull do for next season. Danny Ricciardo, as ever, just, you know, terrifying when he's behind you because you know he'll overtake. And Fernando Alonso, just solid. Look at that. He's beaten Carlos Sainz in an Alpine. Just brilliant. Esteban Ocon in 9th. Sebastian Vettel, Lando Norris, George Russell and Mick Schumacher. 33 points for Mick Schumacher with the Haas. Probably one of the worst cars on the grid at the moment. Not bad because this all affects the money that you get at the end of the season. So Mercedes run rampant with it. Red Bull, you know, clear second. We were chasing them in the middle of the season when things were heating up there, but less than 100 points difference. Not too bad. I'd say that's pretty good, considering that, you know, you expect the top 2 teams to lock out all 4 places all the time. I think we got some fairly good results, or at least Leclerc did. McLaren behind us, they did have a better car than we had. I won't deny that. So that points difference is a lot further than I thought it would be. However, at the end of the grid, the Alfa Romeos really struggled this season. I think they're going to let Raikkonen go. It'll be interesting to see who they get in their place. Williams 1 point behind Haas. Now that is critical because that will give Haas the money that they need. The Alpha Tauris will be disappointed not to beat Aston Martin, but Aston Martin have got a fairly decent car, and they've got Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel. So I think I think the Alpines will be very happy to be so far ahead of Aston Martin. But there we go. That is the end of the season. We've finished the whole season on the F1 2021 Manager mod. It's been a fantastic season. Lots of ups and downs. Carlos Sainz has broken his leg. We had to get our reserve driver in, who actually didn't do too badly in that Ferrari. But yeah, what a upside down season this has been. But hopefully, with the development that we've done on the car, we will really be able to push next season. So stay tuned. I have made it clear that we are looking to make some changes, just simply because I just don't feel some of the design and the mechanical staff elements are as good as it needs to be at Scuderia Ferrari. Stay tuned for next season.